Hey everyone, it's that time again, when we take the time to look at our documents of unused, scrapped, or beta content in the Silent Hill series. For today, we are looking at the 4th installment. Welcome to the cut content of Silent Hill 4. One of the biggest mysteries regarding Silent Hill 4 is undoubtedly the absence of a UFO ending. Previously, Silent Hill 1, Silent Hill 2, and Silent Hill 3 all had specific requirements to unlock the UFO ending. However, this continuation of the UFO ending would oddly not appear as one of the unlockable endings in Silent Hill 4. As to why the UFO ending didn't make the cut, it's unknown and has never been commented on by the studio, Team Silent, when it came to questions regarding the matter. However, one could assume that this was due to time constraints during development, resulting in the idea being scrapped. This can be supported with the unused items found in the PC files of Silent Hill 4, which contain 4 items: the channeling stone, the dirty stone, the courtyard key, and finally, the red oil. The dirty stone is actually the channeling stone. Only when Henry, the main protagonist of Silent Hill 4, washes the dirty stone, it will then result in the channeling stone. The courtyard key has a description that reads, "An old-fashioned key. 4S churchyard has been carved on it." The red oil has a description that reads, "A special balm for exorcism. If thrown on the ground, a large area will be exorcised." As to what the purpose of these 4 items would be used for specifically, it's clear that it would be directly towards unlocking the UFO ending. Initially, the courtyard key would be the only item to have a rendered model out of all the other 4 items, which were item textures. That would be until recently. YouTube user, Rodolfo Nunez, made a very informative video on all the research we've known so far regarding the UFO ending. Upon his findings, he found that there isn't one channeling stone, but actually 5 channeling stones with a full 3D render model. Furthermore, he also discovered a mysterious table with 5 holes that look similar to the outline of the channeling stone. In theory, the player would have to put these 5 channeling stones into the mysterious table to trigger an event. Unfortunately, even if this action is committed, there isn't a programmed UFO ending in the game files. In the file, ANM_test.bin, exists an earlier model of Henry Townsend with a different design. In this earlier beta model, Henry had a less detailed and unfinished design to his facial features, a brown jacket with a green undershirt, and finally, wearing a belt. Interestingly, it's possible to play as this earlier player model of Henry Townsend through model swapping. In the game files, there are unused models with animations that are placed in areas while ascending the staircase, that show unused models with animations depicting very grotesque and disturbing imagery. These unused models show 2 naked women. One model is shown with scissors cutting open the other model's pregnant belly. The other model, receiving the scissors to her pregnant belly, has an appendage-like tongue sticking out of her mouth as she is screaming in pain. These unused models are seen in a sitting position across each other with an animation of both of them eating food at a dinner table. It depicts a male and a female model that could possibly allude to Walter Sullivan's parents. When Walter was only a baby, his parents abandoned him. This imagery here gives implication to their life without Walter. This unused model of a woman is seen in a fetal position with both of her arms held above her head, assuming that she is tied up and desperately escaping her confinement. This unused model is seen bending over on his knees to where he has his hands held up in the air, motioning as if he is pressing on the walls around him. This unused model of a pregnant woman shows her lying on her back with an animation showing her struggling and trying to breathe, while her belly shows 2 baby hands popping out. This unused model has a baby wrapped in bandages, while the other model is shaking the baby violently. Finally, this unused model of a nurse is shown with a knife cutting open the womb of a pregnant woman. Oddly enough, in the game's files, there is a file called em_test.bin. There exists 2 image textures of characters from an adult visual novel called Mohican. These 2 image files are never used in-game, however, they do have bitmaps. Upon returning to room 302, Henry has the option to interact with a peephole that is carved into the side of his wall. This peephole allows Henry to spy on Eileen as she goes about her day-to-day life. This unused animation of Eileen shows her eating food, vocalizing moaning sounds of her eating. In this unused animation, it shows her stretching and doing physical exercises. The next unused animation shows Eileen undressing her clothing, although she doesn't actually take off her clothes, just simulates the motion. Finally, this unused animation of Eileen shows her assumingly possessed by one of the many hauntings that appear throughout the game. Here, she is seen shaking her head violently as she manipulates her eyes to look around, while screaming in pain as she is looking directly at Henry. In the game's files, there exists an unused test room of what appears to be one of the prison rooms from the water prison. The 3D model textures are very unfinished and unpolished. This water prison test room has only a white, rough texture of the room itself, along with a toilet, a sink, a bed, and seating areas across the room. The file IWA_test stage has a model of a test room that is an earlier version of the apartment world. It contains early model textures of the exterior and interior of the apartment world floors. The file event_RL03_L.bin contains an unused event of the Halo of the Sun symbol. By replacing one of the memos found in Henry's closet, an event triggers the Halo of the Sun symbol to appear with a blue translucent light, highlighting the symbol in an image texture. Much recently, there was an unused cutscene that was found that shows Henry in an empty black void where he is seen standing calling out to Eileen as she calls his name. Henry then looks around him to then result in sighing in distress, saying, "Where did you go now?" Finally, Henry then takes a step to assumingly a hole where Eileen called his name, that then has the camera shift towards the empty black void.
Eileen. Where'd you go now?
And that is all the cut content of Silent Hill 4. I hope you enjoyed today's deep dive into this little entry of ours and learned something new along the way. While short, there was still lots of unused content that is still not only being found 2 decades later, but leading to more questions than answers. But until then, I guess we will have to wait and see. A huge thank you to Rodolfo Nunez for his incredible research with his findings when it comes to the unused content in Silent Hill 4. This video wouldn't have been possible without his hard work and dedication to document these findings for all of us to see. Anyways, that's me. Thank you for watching, please have a great day, stay safe, and goodbye.